What is up, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt, where Derek and I discuss movies and franchises and music and all manner of entertaining things in that regard.
Yes.
We'll get to today's topic in a moment, but for now, Derek, what you been up to? What you been listening to? Anything?
Kill Switch.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
No, literally, Kill Switch is going to be one of the bands that Karen and I are doing for our top 10 thing. And yeah, so we were listening to As Daylight Dies on the way to Quincy, and then we listened
beautiful.
to Atonement on the way back.
I think As Daylight Dies is absolutely in my no skip list for sure.
Yeah, I think we probably
love As Daylight Dies.
we'll need to look at the number, but yeah, we might need to do an album versus between End of Heartache and As Daylight Dies.
I'm telling you, man, dude.
That would be lit.
You know I'm here for Kill Switch, dude. I'm here for it.
So good.
And those two albums would be tough. I mean, the self-titled also would be pretty tough. The Yellow Jaguar. It's got Starting Over and Save Me on it.
Yeah.
That one's up. I mean, there's a couple songs. Starting Over and Save Me specifically are in my, I listen to those songs all the fucking time.
Yeah,
so
well, I made sure to because there was a little bit of time where we were jumping around, so I was hitting random stuff, and I put on Save Me because that was one of the music videos that Jacob loved to watch as a baby, because it's like all claymation and stuff. So yeah.
It's so good, dude. I love claymation, anything. So claymation plus Kill Switch engaged. Oh yeah, you can count me in, man. Count me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Karak Angren, but it's because I use Karak Angren to practice my screams and shit, because I can emulate Saragor pretty easily, the lead singer, if anybody's not familiar with Karak Angren, but he's got pretty easy, well, at least for me, easy to emulate, so it's good practice for me. But otherwise, I haven't really been listening to a whole lot. Peyton and I started a song today. I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't talk about it, but it is horror movie related.
Ooh.
Yeah. And dude, he wasn't originally going to have me on the track. It was going to be his own thing, but I think he was just stumped or something, and he messaged me and was like, "Hey, how comfortable would you be to create a drop for a song involving blank movie that hits like an absolute just freight train?" And I was like, I can give it a go, and it's probably the best EDM bass drop I've ever created in my life. It's so good, dude. So he loved it so much that he sent it back. He's like, "Hey, we need another one at the end right here." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And I added some fucking down-tuned electric guitar and shit in there, and it sounds nuts. It sounds absolutely nuts. But good stuff. Good stuff all around. I'll talk to you about it after, but dude, it sounded so good right now. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been listening to. Playing a lot of Return to Moria a little bit, and some World of Warcraft. We had our raid night last night. Nothing really new, honestly. I kind of dropped off of Helldivers this week for a while. I think we played that one day,
Yeah,
a couple days ago, but we'll get back in there. But yeah, I've just been super fucking busy with that. And then, of course, the secret project I was talking to you about before we started today. Top secret. Very exciting stuff. Very good stuff. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, so hopefully it turns out.
Okay, I'll tell them. No, I won't.
You'll be stricken from the record. I don't edit any of these episodes for anybody watching, but this would be one of those times where you'd see a jump cut.
Yeah, just first two words of the first sentence, and then the last word.
Exactly.
Or you could even insert or edit it so that it looks like it's fast forwarding through a whole explanation, and then
actually,
it stops right there.
No, I'll just cut the audio when you're talking, so people can try to piece your mouth together to see if they can tell what you're saying.
Oh, jeez.
Anywho, Speaking of horror movies, that brings us to today's topic, Derek. What are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about and listing off our top 10 favorite horror movies from the 2010s, which would be 2010 through 2019.
It's going to be fun. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. I will say, when we were originally debating if it was going to be 2000s or 2010s, obviously, like, I came up with more than enough for both lists. My 2010s list, though, way more than 2000s. Like, 2000s was kind of a rough time for horror.
I noticed.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, it was just remakes. Remakes. That's all there was. And yeah, we did get some in the 2010s. I won't pretend like we didn't.
Oh yeah.
But we also got great new ideas in horror, or something that it's like, oh, this movie did that. Well, I hate to be that guy. This movie legit did it better. I've been saying for probably since 2018. Up through today, that we're kind of in like a new golden age of horror, because my God, there's a lot coming, and there is more good than there is bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. I went through both sections just to kind of refresh myself, because as I've discussed multiple times, horror is not my main go-to genre, so I know that I definitely would have missed a lot in the early 2000s, but going through the list, like, even the ones that I did like, the list was significantly smaller, or that I did watch, sorry, was significantly smaller than the movies that I've watched in the 2010s. So, I'm definitely glad we did this one instead. However, there was some bangers in the early 2000s, but dude, I'm telling you, 2010s had some heat. Just absolute heat come out of the 2010s. So,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, no freaking doubt.
I was just telling Derek before we started that, like, some of these in this list could probably make my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Just taking the genre away, like, some of these definitely could make that list for sure. Which is tough, because I watch a lot of movies. They just so happen to not be horror a lot of the time. So. For me to say that is pretty interesting, honestly. But, like, looking at the list, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, honestly, yeah. I could put that in my top 10 for sure. Where it would go in my top 10, I don't know. But that's an episode for another time. Let's go ahead and get started. What is your number 10, Derek? Favorite movies, or top 10 favorite movies of the horror genre?
Man, you took a long walk for a short drink. Okay.
My brain just shut off, dude.
Number 10 of my top 10 favorite horror movies of the 2010s.
That was much better.
Yeah, I landed the plane. You crashed into a mountain filled with orphanages and puppies.
I went way off the fucking beaten path, man. I don't know what was going on. That was rough.
Okay. Released October 9th, 2015. The Final Girls.
Okay.
Now I know some people. This is a horror comedy. You said it. Horror. I was looking through this list. There are a few more horror comedies. One that I forgot that I would have literally crucified myself for if I didn't remember. But yeah. Horror comedies are still fun, dude.
I've got two of them in my list.
And The Final Girls is like the perfect combination of Last Action Hero and Friday the 13th mixed together. It is just absolutely hilarious. Let me go through some of this cast first. Tessa Farmiga, some of you may recognize that name from American Horror Story season 1, because she was in Murder House. She was the daughter. Malin Ackerman, she's been in all kinds of stuff. Adam Devine from Workaholics, and then I think he was in Pitch Perfect. I can't. I only watched that movie once and was forced to. Thomas Middleditch. He's in a lot of stuff too. Sorry. Alia Shawkat from Arrested Development. Nina Dobrev from Vampire Diaries. So, I mean, this has a lot of decently known people, and it is just a fun thing because very quick synopsis. The mom dies, daughter's sad. Mom was a movie star. They went to a movie theater on the anniversary of the death or whatever. Fire breaks out, they get sucked into the movie. Boom, they're in a slasher movie. And just hilariousness ensues. I know this did not get like a theatrical release or anything. I remember buying it on my Xbox the day it came out. So this one may have kind of flown under the radar for a lot of people.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I highly recommend checking this movie out. You will have a good time with it because all of the 80s stereotypes in the slasher movies, they're there. They have fun with it.
Nice.
And slashers are my favorite subgenre of horror. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer. But, yeah. Number 10, The Final Girls.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, I can almost guarantee you that I'm going to have a couple of movies on my list that may or may not be controversial because I don't know the general statistics of who liked what, and I like very particular movies, so at least in horror, very particular movies. So my number 10 was released August 29th, 2014, and it is As Above, So Below. I don't recognize a whole lot of people from this cast other than Ben Feldman. I know I've seen Ben Feldman in several things, but
wasn't he in Friday the 13th remake?
I believe so, yes. I'm pretty sure.
And Live Free or Die Hard too, I believe.
Yes. He's been in a couple things. I know he was on a show too. He was on some show that I'm like spacing on. But Superstore. Duh, he was on Superstore. If you work at retail, you should probably watch Superstore at some point, just because it's literally just working in a retail establishment, and again, all the stereotypes are all there, and it's funny as hell.
Oh,
but
okay, so my Live Free or Die Hard comment was wrong, but I was thinking of a completely different guy from the Friday the 13th remake, but he was in the Friday the 13th remake as well.
I was gonna say, I know he's in Friday the 13th. I wasn't sure about Live Free or Die Hard, but.
And when you said Superstore, I was like, because I've watched I think like 3 seasons of it.
Yeah.
But I was like, where the hell is he in Superstore? So yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't recognize the other cast members from a lot of their other work. I don't know if they've been in a lot of stuff or not, but I think that's probably why I like this one so much. It's more it was more immersive that way for me anyway, because I can't recognize. There's no like Arnold Schwarzenegger in it or whatever. You know, they're all people that I'm not vaguely familiar with or not familiar with at all. But yeah, I thought it was really well done. Again, I don't know the general reception of this, but I know everybody that I know that has seen it likes it pretty decent, and it is pretty damn scary. I mean, especially for what it's trying to do, especially with the whole found footage thing being kind of overworked and underpaid and kind of exhausted at this point, especially 2014. By that point, we've already had tons of the Blair Witch ripoffs and stuff like that. So for what it was trying to do, I thought they did very well. I was genuinely terrified for a little while of it. And yeah, I love it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's very terrifying.
It is very terrifying, yes.
No, okay, so the guy I was thinking of was Jonathan Sadowski. And yeah, he was in Live Free or Die Hard, Friday the 13th, and then I completely forgot he was in The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard. But why I was thinking it was him was I was thinking my brain went to Chernobyl Diaries, not As Above, So Below.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's where I got completely off, like in left field hardcore.
Gotcha. No, I feel that. It happens to the best of us.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, As Above, So Below, number 10.
Okay. All right.
What you got for number 9, Derek?
This one, I'm gonna piss one person off because it's this low. And sorry, Dallas. I had
To hell with Dallas.
released
He's fine.
released July 7th, 2015. Another movie that a lot of people don't know about, and they need to, is Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Dude, you tried so hard to get Toby and I to watch those, and we just never did. I don't know why either. We had plenty of time to do so. We just never did.
Yeah, this movie is gold. Like, it is a super low budget 80s slasher, and well, okay, first off, right out of the gate, what's awesome about it? You're asking yourself, well, what about Dude Bro Party Massacre 1 or 2? Did you like those? There isn't a 1 or 2. It starts right off at 3.
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's only 1. They do, like, a typical flashback, like Friday the 13th Part 2, for instance. She's laying on the bed, like, and then she's reliving all of the last minutes of Friday the 13th. Same thing's happening here, except he's with a therapist. Yeah, you want to talk about goofy as all hell? Like, I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I'm just gonna say the only person that most people will know in this movie is Patton Oswalt, and he's just kind of like a cameo appearance. Watch this movie; it is so much fun. And Dallas, this one's for you. Samantha, what the fuck? Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, number 9.
Nice. Okay, number 9. What do I got for my number 9? Number 9 is another one that I also... The cast is awesome. It's great, don't get me wrong. And I know that I recognize several of these people from other movies and stuff, but a lot of them I know I personally have not seen in other movies. So, again, maybe it's just a subconscious immersion kind of thing. I don't know. But it was released on November 9th, 2018. It is Overlord. And, dude, what a fun movie, man. I mean, it is just, it's got, like, a good majority of it's pretty action heavy, like, as far as the horror genre goes anyway. But, dude, there are some scenes, especially in the labs and stuff like that, and some of the experiments that they have going on in there that I was like, ugh, that's fucking gross. Yeah. But, of course... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, it is just Nazi zombies. Like, yeah. 10 out of 10, awesome. And it has Kurt Russell's son in it, Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell. It's got Joseph Quinn. Obviously, most people know him from Stranger Things. Who else it has in here? Off the cuff, I don't know anybody else, like, particularly. But, I mean, dude, just go look at the cast list for Overlord. They're all great actors. I don't think I had a problem with any of them, to be honest with you. And, yeah, dude, if you're into, like, World War II era zombie horror type shit, this is right up your alley. It's insane. And I love every second of it. It's good stuff. Also, I was trying to create a World War II themed campaign, D&D campaign for a couple of my friends, Toby included, of course, mainly for Toby because that's Toby's bag. And in the process of creating this campaign while doing research, obviously I was trying to watch a lot of World War II movies and stuff like that. This was one of them that I got a lot of inspiration from for that. And that campaign, we only had like maybe 4 sessions of it before we ended up disbanding, but it was super fun the whole way through. And I can definitely thank Overlord for helping me put together the scene, if you will. The atmosphere and shit was just, it's just there. It's so good. But yeah, number 9, Overlord.
Sorry, I was looking at the cast and I was trying to find people that I like really recognize. And so far I've only seen one, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Johann Philipp Pilu Asbeck. But he played Euron Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. But yeah, other than that, it's not a lot of.
Oh, gotcha.
Not a big name cast.
Yeah, still a great movie though. Which is just it's just proof that you do not need the best actors in the world, the most top tier fucking A-list actors to make a good movie, guys. People think that if they see the best names in Hollywood in a movie, it's just automatically going to be good, but it's not always true.
Yeah, no, because they up-and-comers have something that already well-named established actors don't have. They're hungry.
Yep.
They want to get there, and they gotta, give them a shot. Give them a shot.
Yep. That's how we find them diamonds in the rough, man.
100%.
But yeah, that's my number 9.
Okay. Number 8, released January 20th, 2017. Split.
Nice. I knew that was going to be on here somewhere.
I love this movie. It really is a shame that McAvoy did not get an Oscar for this movie.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. He is 2/3 of the movie, if not more. Maybe 75-80% of the movie. And this movie, I remember when it came out, because it was, another M. Night Shyamalan movie. Okay, there's going to be a weird twist. And you know what? Yeah, there was a twist, I guess. But just that there wasn't like Sixth Sense level twist, and the movie stands on its own. Whereas Sixth Sense becomes iconic because of the twist. No, this movie's just awesome the whole time through. But yeah, like I said, James McAvoy, he plays the guy with dissociative identity disorder.
DID.
And then Anya Taylor-Joy. This was one of the first things that I remember seeing her in, and yeah, I thought she did absolutely great. I believe her character name, Casey.
Anya Taylor-Joy is one of my favorite actresses of all time. I love her so much. She's so good.
Yeah, and it's just been fun since I saw her here first, and then I'll probably get stuff out of order, but just seeing her rise, because now, Furiosa's coming out soon, which that's going to be awesome. Then there was The Menu, then The Queen's Gambit, Mario movie. She's on her way up.
Oh,
and The Witch. Which I think The Witch was actually before this, but I saw this first before The Witch. But, yeah, great movie. It was an unintended sequel to Unbreakable. And then they made a third movie called Glass, which I don't think a lot of people really like that movie. And I remember I was pissed when I first watched it. But then I watched it again and I was like, okay, I get it. This movie's good. So it's kind of its own trilogy, I guess. But Split, I would definitely say... Okay, I'm going to scratch that comment because I don't want to say Split's better than Unbreakable. But, yeah, just fantastic movie. But number 8, Split by M. Night Shyamalan.
Split's solid. I love it. It's good stuff. What number are we on?
8.
8. Okay. My number 8 was released October 18th. 2015. And while we're talking about Anya Taylor-Joy, I'm pleased to announce that The Witch is my number 8. Derek, you were wrong.
Damn.
Yep. There's one movie in particular that I'm surprised you didn't say that I think I talk about more, but maybe not. But anyway, yes, of course, Anya Taylor-Joy killed the role that she did in this phenomenal movie. Great movie all around. Production value's top notch. It's just absolutely chilling of a movie. The sound alone. I remember the first time I watched this, I was in a camper. in the middle of Seymour, Iowa, which You don't need to know anything. It's just middle of nowhere town. Okay, there's like 700 people max, and I'm on the outskirts of that in a camper at night. Very cruddy audio system, of course, because the acoustics in a camper are not the greatest. And boy, let me tell you what, the opening tracks, like the strings that they have just kind of shrieking in the background and stuff, I'm just like, man, I'm losing sleep on this one the first time I watched it, man. It scared the shit out of me. And believe it or not, like overall, as far as imagery goes, A24 has had much more gruesome imagery in their movies than in The Witch, but this one, I think, because of the fact that they held back on some of the imagery, made it more creepy. I think it like lent itself very well to it, honestly.
Yeah, because the most terrifying thing isn't what you can see on the screen; it's what you play up here.
Yeah, and like you hardly ever actually see the witch at all, but then you got to ask yourself, wait a minute. What witch are we even talking about here? What's going on? And it's just, dude, it just makes your skin crawl sometimes. Like some of the scenes in there, the mom breastfeeding the crow, if you know, you know. Like, oh no, dude. Ugh. And then she's like laughing and stuff the whole time. Ugh. Oh, hello, Willow. Yeah, but absolutely insane. Mark Corvin on the soundtrack, or this sound design, just goddamn, just so good. And yeah, definitely a staple in my list of movies to watch during spooky season for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I have a feeling I'm just really overlooking what I thought yours was going to be, because I hear you talk about. Yeah, it's Halloween 2018, isn't it, you dirty dog?
Yep, that's it.
The Long Con. I got it.
It's no, it's Halloween ends.
Oh no, 2020's.
Oh damn, yeah, you're right. Let me go change my answer real quick. Hell no, that's not making any of my lists, except for maybe some of the worst horror movies ever made.
The Witch was directed by Robert Eggers. Was it?
Yes.
I'm getting the name right.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if this was his first movie that he directed or not, but this put him on the mark. Like holy shit! Like he's legit. And you know, the Lighthouse came out after that, and then God, what was it? God, what was the one that was The Northman?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Viking one.
Northman was kind of creepy too, honestly.
Yeah,
as much as it like was trying to be a Viking period piece and shit, it's definitely a horror movie, like for sure. It's shit's scary.
He's got an eye, and I love his vision.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
and then he is doing a Nosferatu remake, which I am very excited to check out. So.
It looks really good, like what we've seen so far, which is very little, but still, the little we have seen looks really good.
But The Witch, in my mind, started all of it. I don't know, he may have had a movie before that I'm not aware of, but The Witch is where his rise went from, or it started just straight up meteor, you know. It was just rocketing. Like, not a slow climb, getting better as he goes. No, he was already awesome, and then is just killing it hard.
It looks like he had a couple of like little offshoots before that, but The Witch was his first like big thing.
Big production.
The Witch, then The Lighthouse, and then Northman. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Such a creepy atmosphere in all of his movies, honestly. But holy shit, man, The Witch just does it so good. But
oh yes.
Yeah. That's what I got for my number 8.
Number 7. Now, or actually, let me hit you with the release date first. September 8th, 2017.
Okay.
And on this day, I had my best movie-going experience I have legitimately ever had. I was kind of wanting to cheat and put its sequel in with it, but they are standalone movies. So, It Chapter 1.
Okay.
Or just It 1. Or It 2017.
It Chapter 1. We'll accept Chapter 1. That works.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I love chapter 2, but chapter 1, like they did such a good job with the adult casting, but they did an amazing, like literally 10 out of 10 perfect job with the kids.
Absolutely.
Um, so that is what makes me go back and rewatch this movie. Not because of like, oh, it's gory. Oh, it's got a good no, the kids, just the chemistry that they have and how they interact with one another is straight up how me and my buddies talked when we were like 12 years old.
That's
Like
how I talk with my buddies
100%.
now.
Yeah, and I mean, well, yeah, you know damn good and well we talk like that now as
Yeah,
adults. But
exactly.
so so just seeing that, like, that's what makes me come back to this movie. That, like, the best chemistry, and I mean, you literally believe that the kids were like they're BFFs off of the
Oh yeah.
set and everything. Um, but yeah, this movie was directed by Andy Muschietti, which is, man, what happened with the Flash, man? Like, God, he
You're asking the
directed
wrong
it,
person.
it 1 and 2, and then we get the Flash. Like, whatever. Um, but for those of you that don't know or have been sleeping under a rock, it takes place in Derry, Maine, and it is the telling of this being that comes out to eat every 27 years, and it feeds on children and their fear. Um, and yeah, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Like
Yeah,
this is the rare
killed
instance
it.
in the remakes. Oh yeah, but like I will not tell you he's better than Tim Curry, and I also won't say Tim Curry is better than Bill
Oh
Skarsgård. They
yeah,
both
neck and
just
neck.
completely leveled out. They're
Mm.
completely different, and they are just as good. They're 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Whereas you go to like Nightmare on Elm Street remake, Robert Englund and frickin' Jackie Earl Haley, Robert Englund by a mile. This is the only instance, and if anybody has an example, post it down below and we can talk about it. Both of them are the exact same.
yeah,
Like
I agree with
they're
that.
10.
100%.
And yeah, this movie was gory. Uh, I mean, showing a little kid getting his arm bitten off. I didn't think they were gonna go there.
Within the first
So
like 20 minutes.
yeah, and they dude, they freaking went there.
Yeah, they went there, and
like
then in the second movie, they ramped it further with like a hate crime in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I was like, God damn, what is going
yeah,
on?
Jesus, yeah, that's God.
It was rough.
Yeah, but I just remember like the opening scene with Georgie
Yeah,
set the tone for the movie because like I was waiting on that one moment, like I was like, are they gonna cut away from it and then just be like, oh no, or are they gonna show it? And then they showed it and I was like, we're in, hold on to your butts. Like it was gonna be a frickin' ride.
oh yeah,
So
dude, it's so good. And then
and
even
it's
when he comes back later in the movie too, you can see him with his like sleeve just dangling there,
yeah,
blood spewing out of it.
Stumpy, yeah.
Creepy, man. Oh man.
This movie is also like a really good introduction to horror. Like, I can see this movie. I know it's gory. Well, you gotta throw them into the deep end and see what happens sometimes.
God, it just
But
makes me think of that fucking scene in the basement. When you said throw him at the deep end. Oh god, I can't get his eyes out of my head.
no, I know a lot of people have like, okay, I'm getting into horror. What would you recommend? It, like you can watch the '91 or you can watch this. Either way, and yeah, people generally just like this movie. I mean, there's a reason why
Yeah.
it's like one of if not the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, which is awesome to just have that award
Right.
in the horror genre.
Oh yeah, especially in the horror genre.
Yeah, because the horror genre never gets the love it deserves at all. So
It's just very
that's kind of,
it's very niche, so it's I think it's just hard to find the massive community that will stand behind that, you know. But,
the last thing I will say about the movie, because the book is originally set in like the 50s or 60s, but then they adjusted for time, so this movie was set in the 80s. and I love everything 80s. So the fact that we've got, God, what I'm trying, Anthrax, Antisocials playing here. There was another song that was playing. Part of me wants to say I thought it was Metallica, uh, but I'm just having a hard time recalling that right now. So the music was great.
Oh yeah.
The Colts in there with I believe it's Love Removal Machine, um, and yeah, just all in all, awesome. Can't recommend it enough. It 2017 is my number. What is it? 7. 7.
Nice. All right. So this one was difficult. I was tossing up between two movies in particular by the same director, which will get an honorable mention absolutely. But I landed on this one after watching it again recently, and when I say recently, I mean like the end of last year. But it was released March 22nd, 2019, and it is Us, directed by Jordan Peele. Holy shit.
You chose correct.
Dude, when I say the first time I watched this, I was like so lost and confused and blown away at the same time, and amazed and kind of disappointed, and like all of it was just kind of all at once, because I had also fell in love with Get Out. I know there's a lot of debate on which one's better, but I really, really liked Get Out a lot when it came out, and I seen it in theaters, whereas this one I did not see in theaters. I actually saw when it came out on DVD, and or maybe I streamed it, I can't remember, but it was not in theaters, so maybe that played a role in me liking Get Out more at the time. But I recently watched Get Out and Us again at the end of last year, which generally Get Out has been a pretty big staple in a movie that I will watch during spooky season, no matter what, since it got released. But I was hanging out with somebody that had never seen either of them, like at all, so I was like, well, let's just watch both of them, and we did. And watching them back to back, dude, the level of detail and just sheer like mind fuckery that goes on from beginning to end in this movie just blew me away again, in a more straightforward way than the last time I had watched it, which wasn't the first time I watched it, but because I had watched it a couple times since then as well. But every time I just always felt some kind of weird lingering, like I want something else the whole time I was watching it. But this time, for some reason, put it finally all into perspective for me. And yeah, it's such a good movie. And the cast, dude, everybody in this movie absolutely killed their role, like in the best way possible. Winston Duke, obviously, is in Wakanda Forever and Black Panther 1 and everything. Lupita Nyong'o, I probably butchered that, but phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pronounce. Yeah.
Yeah, she's I cannot do that last name. It's just fucking me up. So sorry for that. But Evan Alex, the younger boy, killer job, especially for young actors. You know, there's always like a weird line between kind of cringy. You know what I mean? But it's because they're young and they're still like getting the hang of things. But I thought he was great. I thought he did great. Elizabeth Moss, Shahadi Wright Joseph. She played the older sister. Phenomenal. I literally could not say anything bad about anybody in this movie. They all did a great job, killed every single role, and I loved all of it. And from beginning to end, it's just a ride. Like, it's a whole ride. Make sure you're paying close attention to everything from in the beginning, so you actually have all the context by the time the end rolls around. But holy shit, man, it is so good. Could not recommend this movie enough.
Yeah, Us was awesome. I did really enjoy Us. Get Out is a completely different story, though. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Us. It was.
I still like Get Out a lot. I still do. Maybe it's just because I really, really loved it when it came out, and that's just like stuck in my head. But I do really love Get Out a lot. But
no, like my thing with that was I didn't see it in theaters. I don't remember exactly why I didn't, but everybody said, "Oh my God, this is the best movie ever. This is the best horror movie of all time." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Damn, this is gonna be pretty good." Okay, and then I watched it, and I was like, I just How? How? You know the twist a mile away.
Yeah.
I swear, no spoilers, no nothing. It was fucking Helen Keller could have seen this coming. So I don't know why people were blown away by it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not saying like it just wasn't my cup of tea. Like I did not wasn't a fan of the story or anything like that, but everybody did awesome. Jordan Peele did awesome. I'm glad the movie was successful
Yeah.
because that has gave us more Jordan Peele horror.
Oh yeah.
But
And he's such a good director, dude.
oh yeah. And he that movie was just not my cup of tea, but yeah, like Us, I liked Us a lot. Shit, I dug the hell out of Nope. Like I loved Nope a lot.
Nope was kind of a, I don't know. Nope. I need to watch that again, but I know when I first watched it, I was not super impressed based on what I knew about Us and Get Out. I still like both of those more, but again, maybe after watching it again, I'll get a new appreciation for it. But I know the first time I watched it, I was like, it was all right. But
Yeah, like I was kind of the same way, and then I would just put it on to fall asleep to, and yeah, then I was like, yeah, okay, this is probably my favorite movie that he has done, and it seems like it's like out of the three, it's the least favored of the three, so I'm wired differently when it comes to
yeah,
Mr. Poole, I guess.
I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't say that Get Out is the best movie ever or best horror movie ever made, but I still loved it quite a bit. Yeah, I don't get that too much, but for sure, great movie, I think. But yeah, at the end of the day, number 7, Us beat it out by a little while, and such a good, awesome movie. Make sure you check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
What you got? Number 6.
Number 6. This is the one I almost forgot.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had to rearrange a good chunk of my list. Released January 22nd of 2010. So I thought it was 2000s. So it missed it by that much. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
I've been waiting for the sequel for a long, long time and still haven't gotten it. This movie, it's hilarious. I mean, it's got Tyler Labine and Alan Tudyk in it. And Tyler Labine played Sock in Reaper, which was a comedy show. And then Alan Tudyk is just, Rogue One? He's the robot. He's in Firefly. He's Pastor Veal in Arrested Development. Like, Alan Tudyk is in a lot of stuff, and he is freaking hilarious. And this movie is basically just two rednecks they just bought a quote-unquote vacation home, which is a creepy-ass cabin in the woods. They just want to try and fix up their property, and then these college kids completely misinterpret them 100,000%, and then they think that they're going to kill them in the woods, and then the kids end up killing themselves in the woods and going crazy, and it is just chaotic in all the best ways, and it is just beyond quotable. I know I still say every once in a while, if it's been a bad day, it's been a doozy of a D. Alan Tudyk from Tucker and Dale.
I still have not seen it. I know I need to. I know I've seen the trailers for it. It's on my radar. It's one of those I just never got around to, I guess. But
yeah, sure, officer. This kid just hooked himself into my wood chipper.
Yeah, dude. Movie, I know. I need to watch it really bad.
It's so much fun. So yeah, number 6, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Everybody, go watch this. Great.
Yeah. I'll definitely be watching it. Eventually, but okay. My number 6. Yeah, my number 6 was released August 9th, 2019. And it is an adaptation of a book. Well, collection of short stories, really. And that is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, let me tell you, when I heard that they were going to make a Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie, I was pissed. I was beyond pissed off. I was like, please don't do that. Please don't fuck it up. Dude, I read those books so much when I was in school.
Oh, yeah.
I got terrified at the art so much when I was in school. I remember when I was sitting in class one day, I was reading one of the stories, and I can't even remember what story it was, but I remember getting to like almost the punchline, and it was some quiet period in class or something like that. So everybody was just like really quiet. The classroom was silent as the grave, and I'm getting to the punchline of this creepy ass story. And this fucking idiot sneezes behind me, scared the actual shit out of me, dude. I jumped out of my skin in the middle of this silent-ass classroom because the story had me so wrapped into it that when he sneezed, it just sent my head through the ceiling, dude. I was freaked out. And I know he felt bad. Like, he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I couldn't hold it in. And I'm like, no, you're all good, bro. I'm just reading a scary story. It is what it is. But, dude, I'm telling you what, I read these things so much, especially the first one. The very first Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book is my favorite, always will be. I will be getting a tattoo of the dude on the cover at some point. The head that's sticking out of the ground with the little... I think he's got a pipe in his mouth. I can't remember. But we'll be getting a tattoo of that at some point. Easily one of my favorite books of all time. Or whatever you want to call it. Collection of short stories. But when the movie was announced, I was so disappointed. Because I just had a sinking suspicion they were going to fuck it up. But when I seen Harold on the cover, the Scarecrow on the cover, look exactly same pose and everything as he did in the book, I was sold. I was like, oh, okay, hold on. Okay, maybe they're let them cook a little bit. Maybe they're onto something here, because that is the exact Harold from the book, but IRL. Same pose, same weird leg stance out to the side, like big hole through his stomach or whatever. Like, I was blown away at the level of detail that they decided to go with on this movie.
Yeah.
Now, and when I seen it, I was like, okay, this is good. I like this a lot. And it, to this day, is just another one that we have in our collection of movies to watch every spooky season. It's just so good. It's almost... I mean, yeah, it's got some scary stuff in it for sure, obviously, but it's also kind of just comforting. It's got that weird, like, fall, nostalgic kind of feel to it, you know what I mean? So
strange.
Yeah. And it's, dude, what a damn good adaptation.
Be the season of the witch.
Oh, yeah. Banger fucking Season of the Witch in there, dude. But there's a couple things that I wish they would have done a little different. Couple creative decisions that they did that I was like, okay, not really feeling what you're going for there, but I get it, I guess. The Midai Toti Walker, in my opinion, looked a little fucking goofy in the movie. Maybe that was just me. I think if they would have kept his classic bearded look, maybe I'm a little biased, from the book, I probably would have been a little bit less skeptical, but I don't know, just this weird, sleek, clean-shaven mass of flesh was just kind of weird to me, especially when you got the Pale Lady, of course, who is also a weird, fleshy mass of flesh, and so forth. They could have probably done a little bit differently for the Midai Toti Walker, but yeah, other than that, I think they did a damn good job, and obviously there's probably more stories referenced in that movie than I even picked out, because there are so many of them. They easily could have just hid little things in the background referencing those stories that I just missed or went over my head, but I try to look for new ones every time I watch it. And yeah, overall though, I thought it was a great movie, and I'm glad that they went the direction they did with it. So
yeah, it literally felt like the book, just somebody threw it into a TV, and then we got that. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, whenever we would go into the library, I knew exactly where these books were.
Yep, me too.
And I would go into the library, and I would just be reading them. I was very happy with the movie. They are still in... Okay.
No,
They're still
keep
in the
going.
They're still in the process of making a sequel, so hopefully that comes to fruition. But yeah, all in all, just a really good movie. He's gonna bust it out right now.
I found this at a store, and it is a collection of all of them. And I seen it, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I bet you it doesn't have all the art. It does.
Okay, I was gonna say at first you just
All of
literally
the original art.
opened it up to pay like to words. I was like,
Yeah, no, sorry.
you're not making your point here.
All of the original artwork from Schwartz. What's his name? Alvin Schwartz. Or Stephen Gamal. Sorry, Alvin Schwartz is the author, or the one that collected the stories anyway. But yeah, the second I seen that sitting there on the shelf, I'm like, oh, it's mine. It's mine. Had to get it.
Oh hell yeah!
But yeah, that is my number 6. Scary stories to tell in the dark.
Hey, that's a very good pick.
Solid
Right.
movie.
Here we go, number 5. We've entered the top 5. Released April 5th, 2013, and it's still the only movie I have seen by myself in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. Evil Dead! This remake, prequel, whatever, is amazing. It was actually, I wasn't like super big into Evil Dead at this time period. I had seen them and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You're talking Evil Dead 2013, right?
Yeah,
Your number 5.
yeah.
My number 5 is also The Evil Dead 2013.
No! What?
Yep.
Oh, man. Wow. I don't even think we had, well, okay, we had one lineup on,
Try not to show you my other ones, but right there,
Yep.
The Evil Dead.
yep, that's it. Yep.
How would we both get that one number 5?
Yeah, with all the options, like,
Yeah. What the hell?
when we did our best albums of 2003, which you should check out if you haven't. I'm not gonna say the number 1, but yeah, it was like, yeah, like it's
a very obvious choice for that one, but this one's not a very obvious choice.
yeah. This one is completely random, so that's awesome.
That's crazy.
But no, this movie legit got me into Evil Dead. It really did. I thought Fede Alvarez, who is directing Alien Romulus.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's another reason to be excited for Romulus. But yeah, and this still had Sam Raimi and freaking Bruce Campbell. God, I spaced for a second. It still had them involved as just producers and stuff.
Groovy.
But groovy. Jane Levy, she was in. God, what was it? It was some TV show. I can't remember what it was, but that's where I knew her from. And yeah, I thought she did awesome. The story was very believable that a friend who OD'd and was dead for like a few minutes wants to go to a cabin in the woods and detox, where there is nothing anywhere nearby. Very, very believable and makes sense.
She's also in Don't Breathe.
Oh yeah, I always forget about Don't Breathe because I like Don't Breathe, but I didn't love it like everybody else did.
I thought it was all right. I mean,
Yeah, like I like it wasn't bad by any means, but it just really didn't do a whole lot for me other than I do not look at a turkey baster the same because everybody always thought of that with the turkey baster, I'm not gonna lie, but actually seeing it in action was like, what?
Why'd you do that? Don't do that.
Yeah. Stop.
Yeah. You didn't have to go there, but okay. I guess we're going there.
But so then, yeah, of course, the guy reads from the book, and you never read the Latin. Never.
No, especially not from a dark fucking book that's made out of fucking flesh sewn together.
Never.
Come on, dude. Really? I mean, you asked for that shit.
Never.
You asked for that.
Man. But yeah, so he unleashes the bad stuff, and yeah, just every sequence in this movie I loved. Like the vine sequence, I liked it. The chick with the glass in her face, loved it. The girl with the electric knife, the arm, loved it. The guy who just literally would not fucking die no matter what you threw at him.
Yeah.
Loved every minute of that, because that asshole deserved all the punishment on the fucking universe because he read the goddamn Latin.
Yeah.
I
remember...
And then, yeah, Oh, go ahead.
No, I remember seeing the corrupted version of the chick with the fucking creepy eyes and stuff in the trailer, like coming out of the basement or whatever, and like her head's tilted and shit, and her eyes are like glaring at the fucking camera and shit. I remember seeing that in the trailer when I was like in 2013 when it came out, and I was just like, dude, that's gonna put me off of sleep. Like, I'm not gonna sleep for a couple days for that shit, because I'm gonna see those fucking eyes in the corner of my room for the next like several nights in a row, probably. Terrifying.
Yeah. No, I like. So one thing that was disappointing, not with the movie, but my just viewing experience, because like I said, this is the only movie I've ever seen by myself, and it was after we moved to Champaign, and I didn't really have like, hey, you want to go to the movie yet, buddies? Like we'd get there, weren't quite there yet, and then the next day at work, I was talking to one of the guys. I was like, yeah, I saw Evil Dead. He's like, oh, dude, you should have let me know. I would have went with you. I was like, you fuck,
son of a bitch.
Yeah,
come on, man.
All I'm gonna say is my buddy Jeff, who will always be Jefe, he turned me on to a lot of good horror. Is a good dude. I miss him. Hope you're doing well, Jeff. Shout out.
Shout out, Jeff.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, this movie's just freaking. I love this movie. I love it. That's all I got. You go ahead, because I did a lot of talking.
No. You absolutely said it all. I mean, it is a really good. It's a damn good movie. Damn good adaptation of just the Evil Dead material in general. Definitely, when you hear the word remake or reboot or anything like that, most of the time you're pretty skeptical, especially in horror. Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm looking at you. So I get it, but if you're skeptical about this one, don't be. Go fucking watch it. And I don't know what you feel about the one after it, but Evil Dead Rise, I also thought was very well done. I thought they did a pretty good with it.
I loved it.
Loved it. Dude, go watch them, man. They're both really good. I'm pretty sure Evil Dead Rise does take place after, like, right after this movie, doesn't it? It's the same, like, timeline against them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same timeline. I know there's 3 different books, and that is dealing, like, so what this said on here was that, hold on a second. It continues the first one, the coincidences of events between the first film and mine are not coincidences, but more like dark fate created by the evil book. Like Ash's car still being there, rusting away.
Right.
So I read this somewhere. I might be wrong about this, but the first series dealt with one book. This dealt with a different book, and then Evil Dead Rise is definitely like a different book, the one with all the teeth and stuff.
Yeah, but absolutely, dude. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's really good. If you are queasy, maybe you should probably not, but rip the Band-Aid off, man. Just go watch it. It's so good.
Yeah. Evil Dead, our collective number 5.
Oh, wait. 2 5s makes 10. What am I doing? We already did 10. Okay. Well, shit. Do you want to do 4 then?
I'll go ahead and roll right into number 4.
I swear, if your number 4 is the same.
Since I mentioned Jefe, I'll mention him again because told me about this movie, and then one day after work, I went to his house and watched it. So this movie was released. Technically, I think it premiered at a film festival September 10th, 2011, but it wasn't actually released to everybody until August 23rd, 2013. It is You're Next.
Okay.
The like perfect twist on a home invasion movie. Like, damn. I mean, Dwight Twilley Band playing freaking Looking for the Magic. Mm.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think I've seen this one.
Oh god, dude, it is so good.
No, I
Because
haven't seen
it starts off in this house, like this dude bang this chick or whatever. She puts on some Twilly Band. They're jamming. Then boom, these guys wearing like goat masks, goat and lamb and sheep or something. They killed them. And the whole premise is this family, this rich family,
Dude's
is
got a
being
fucking
like,
crossbow.
oh dude, yeah, and they're three guys that are trying to kill this family, and there's some twists and turns along the way, but the one thing that they did not count on was Aaron, the lived on a survivalist compound. So she knows how to kill people dead and make it awesome. All I'm gonna say is you'll never look at a blender the exact same again.
I'm already pretty skeptical of blenders, but
Oh yeah, it's
garbage disposals and all that kind of shit.
So Erin, who is played by Sharni Vinson, she is legit top 5 one of my favorite horror girls ever. Because I mean, she like Nancy and them just kind of like they gradually get strong. No, she is down to kill people immediately. Like it's not like, oh, I've got to become the hero. She's like, no, I am the killer in this scenario. Oh, so good. It's got just a good twist on home invasion where, you know, like people are, oh no, we're trying to survive. These guys are smarter than us. No, she is smarter than them. And it's just, oh, it's so good. But yeah, number 4, you're next.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely check that one out. I need to add a bunch of these to a list to watch during spooky season too, because I'm always looking for new horror movies to watch and shit during that time. I feel like I always go through my like staples really quick, so that I'm just like stuck at the end with like Nightmare on Elm Street, because I always save that for at the end. But yeah, after that I'm like, all right, where do I go now? But all right, what we got? Number 4 was released April 13th, 2012. And it is The Cabin in the Woods. It's so good. I love it so much.
I'm going to stop you right now. Number 3, Cabin in the Woods.
Nice. Hell yeah. I guess I'll just go straight to my number 3 after this then. Jesus. Man, we're lining up some movies that I didn't think we would line up.
Oh, dude.
Honestly.
I mean, come on. When we were talking Evil Dead, like, don't read the fucking Latin. Like,
yeah.
That is Cabin in the Woods.
Dude, it's so good. One of the few movies that Chris Hemsworth is in that I actually really like a lot. Like, a lot. Not including, like, Endgame and Infinity War and all that kind of shit, but yeah. Phenomenal movie. Super fucking funny. And of course at the end, once they realize that, well, I'm not going to say anything because you should definitely watch it if you haven't. It is a good time from ear to ear, beginning to end, phenomenal in every way. Go watch it. It is fantastic. And I want everybody to experience The Cabin in the Woods because it's just so good. I did actually get to see this one in theaters. And I remember you saying earlier, movies to get people into horror. This, I think, is also a perfect movie to get just kind of nudge people in that direction. Because, yeah, it's got some scary shit in it for sure. But it's also got a lot of lighthearted stuff that breaks up that kind of stuff. And it's just, dude, it's just phenomenal. From the beginning to the end, it's just so good. And then by the end, you're still sitting there like, hold up. What? The
Yeah,
fuck?
dude,
It's so
just
good.
like the whole just manipulating the cabin. Like, I mean, because
Yeah.
it's Evil Dead. It's an Evil Dead cabin. Like
Yeah.
that is 100% what. And just like because they can manipulate the temperature, the pheromones in the air,
Mm.
and so just that whole like other office working aspect of it is what makes this movie just stand out from the crowd. Because
Oh
my
yeah.
God, I can't even remember the guys' names. Was it Bradley Whitford and
Oh dude,
Richard Jenkins, like from Step Brothers, and yeah, Bradley Whitford's from Billy Madison.
both of
And
them are phenomenal, dude.
they are hilarious. Like
Hilarious.
so good, and just like my favorite character in this movie, without a doubt, is Marty. Like, because he is the paranoid stoner who ends up
Yeah.
figuring everything out and getting them down into the lair, and then literally all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. It's nuts, dude. You have to watch this. Also, just a little shout out to Bradley Whitford. He is also the dad in Get Out.
Oh yeah, he is. I forgot about that.
Yes, he is. He does a great job as the dad in Get Out too. But, dude, his character in Cabin in the Woods is fucking hilarious. Both of them, him and Richard Jenkins, are just super fucking funny.
She had it in her hands. She had it in her hands.
Yeah.
Would you just give up on the merman?
They're trying so hard, dude. Oh man, it's so
And then
good.
he gets killed by the merman.
Yeah. Fucking phenomenal movie. Absolutely give it a shot. This is another one of those movies I try to show all my friends that haven't seen it or people that haven't watched a lot of horror movies and stuff. This is one of those which my number 3 is another one that I have literally shown to every one of my single friends that I have had since I've seen this movie. So anybody that's come into my life as like a friend or girlfriend or whatever, like any relation to me whatsoever that is getting into horror or wants to get into horror, wants a new horror movie to watch, I always show them my number 3 as well as this one. And I think my number 3 I've probably shown to just about every person that I have met since I have seen it. So
I'm curious what your number 3 is.
my number 3, because obviously we can gush about The Cabin in the Woods all day. It is a great movie. Go watch it. But my number 3 is, in fact, a movie that was released June 23rd, 2015. Creep. This movie is so fucking good, and I don't care what anybody says. It's phenomenal.
Creepy.
It's creepy. It's creepy.
It's creepy as all hell.
And the creepiest part about it is, like, it's all grounded in some form of reality. Like, it's not any supernatural thing. There's no, like, ghosts or fucking monsters or anything like that. Like, it's literally a tale as old as time, unfortunately. Sadly, it's really fucked up, but still, it's something that a lot of people can put themselves in the shoes of the main character, because it is, again, just so grounded in reality. So it's easy to put yourself in the scenario. But the way that they do it in Creep is phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure there's only 2 actors in this whole movie. All there is Aaron and Joseph. Aaron is played by Patrick Brice, and Joseph is played by Mark Duplass.
Mark Duplass.
Yeah, Duplass. Both of them phenomenal actors, and I have not seen them in literally anything else whatsoever, other than obviously I've seen Creep 2 with Mark. But yeah, dude, go watch this movie. And for sure, let me know in the comments down below if you did, because I want to see how many people I can introduce this movie to, because I know my number's already pretty fucking high. I'm pretty sure, Derek, didn't I show this movie to you as well?
No, I have seen this movie.
Oh, okay. I know I showed it to Toby. I know I showed it to Chelsea. I know I showed it to Deanna. Pretty sure I showed it to Peyton. That's who I think I showed it to. Peyton. My friend Amy. Dude, I've shown it to a lot of people, and I've got a couple new friends now that I definitely need to show it to.
Man, I'm looking like I swear I've seen him in so much stuff.
I haven't.
Mark Duplass.
Even though even though he has that face, he does. He has that face that you're just like, yeah, I've definitely seen him before. But I've looked through his catalog, dude. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, like I've seen Creep and Creep 2. That's literally about it.
Same.
So weird.
Yeah. But he's such a good actor though, so I don't know. I don't know, dude. He played the role really well. The dude's frighteningly creepy, and
yes.
Also, just a little fun fact while we're talking about Creep, the character Peach Fuzz, it's literally just a wolf mask that looks like a mask that you can get at Walmart. I tried so hard to find a Peach Fuzz mask for the Silver Scream Con last year because I wanted to dress up in a black shirt and black pants and wear a Peach Fuzz mask and run around the Silver Scream Con last year as Peach Fuzz because I knew that would be kind of a deep cut, and I know that people that at least have seen Creep would probably be like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know? But I didn't want to be Jason or Freddy or whatever because I knew there was going to be 5,000 of them, right? So I was trying.
Yeah.
I looked everywhere. I scoured the fucking internet. I scoured the dark web. I scoured multiple different stores. They do not sell that Peach Fuzz mask. It was specifically for this fucking movie.
Well, you know what you gotta do. You gotta make your own.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude. And now I even went on some forums and some like just like horror movie forum kind of things or whatever. And there was somebody that said that they had one and they would sell it to somebody for the right price, but they never posted any proof of that. So I was like, all right, dude, what are you doing, man? Because apparently there was only like 5 of them ever made or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But, dude, I'm telling you right now, let me know in the comments down below if you guys know a place that I can get a Peach Fuzz mask. And no, don't say Walmart, I've tried. No, don't say Amazon, I've tried. Those are obviously places that it looks like you can buy that mask from, but you can't. I've looked. I spent way too much time looking, as a matter of fact. But, yeah. Number 3, Creep.
Okay.
What you got for your number 2?
Number 2. Released June 8th, 2018. Is a little ditty called Hereditary.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was just reading this really quick, and this blew my mind. So I just want to
number 2. Wow, that's like really high.
Oh, dude, I love Hereditary. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of D+.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like this movie.
Well, one of the other movies that's listed that did great with critics but not with fans, The Witch. The other two.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. This movie is just a perfect, like, great horror movie. I have not had any movie ever have my jaw just dropped, like, and stayed there for, like, literally minutes.
The long cuts, the long scenes that they do, that are just, like, seamless for, like, 60 seconds, sometimes 2 minutes, I think, was a really long one they had in there. Wow.
Yeah.
Just, like, intense, dude.
I do not want to spoil anything for anybody. So I'm not going to go super in-depth with plot or anything. I'm going to tell you that this movie is, if it's not a 10, it's like a 9.75. Like, it is well acted, well shot, the score, everything. It is perfect, and it works so good. And once again, I know I mentioned this with James McAvoy when I was talking about Split. It is a legitimate crime that Toni Collette was not nominated for an Oscar for this, because, my God, her performance was good. Yeah. Like,
Phenomenal.
they're like, just watch this movie and experience it if you haven't, because it is an experience that will have you at one point being like, what the what what what
I'm gonna go ahead and say some
yeah.
stuff about Hereditary while we're on it because it didn't make my top 10, but that's only because I do have it in my list of honorable mentions for sure. But the main reason is because I liked the ones in my top 10 more. Like that's the most simple answer I can give you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Hereditary. When I first saw it, I seen it in theaters, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not fucking lying to you. I told myself at that point I would never watch that movie again. Not because it was bad, but because it was so good. I felt almost nauseous at the end of it. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding you. And for a while, for years after it came out, it was one of 3 movies that I will never watch again until last year. I watched it again. And I loved it. It's fucking terrifying. Don't get me wrong. Like, it makes me feel ill watching some of those scenes. And there is one scene in particular that, I'm not even kidding, you can almost smell it. It is so well done. Like,
Yeah.
Again, I'm just trying not to give anything away, but go watch this movie. But dude, it is not for the faint heart, I will tell you that. And it will make you feel everything that those characters are feeling. Everything.
Yeah.
Because they just played their characters so well. They're going to make you feel it.
100%.
For a little while. I am glad to say that it is not on that list of 3 movies that I will never watch again, though. So there's that. And by never watch again, I don't mean because they were so bad that, like, well, there is one, I guess, that was so bad that I'm just like, it's a waste of my time to even fucking talk about it. But other one,
what is it? I want you to talk about it. I want to know what it is.
well, that one in particular is Begotten. I don't know if you've seen Begotten or not, but
No, but I won't watch it.
it is fucking god awful. I mean, a lot of really artsy fucking people like have a really big hard on for it because it's supposed to be this like commentary on Christianity, and it's silent, by the way. It's all black and white. It's silent. It's really fucked up and disgusting, especially in the opening scenes, just fucked up. But there's also no dialogue at all. Period. Nothing. No captions. Nothing. But it was meant to be this weird, like, creepy fucking, like, I don't know. It's just, it got so much hype from the fucking cult of people that like it that I had to watch it. And yes, I had to obtain this movie through means that I cannot speak of on this fucking podcast because of reasons, but I watched it at night.
He bought it.
Yeah,
That's what he did. He bought it.
I definitely bought it, yeah, which should be illegal in itself because it's so fucking bad. But, dude, I was like, what are you guys talking about? This is the stupidest shit ever. But the other one is another one of my honorable mentions, which is Megan is Missing. That is one I will not watch again because it fucked me up. I'm not going to lie. If you've ever seen Megan is Missing, you know the scene I'm talking about. I'll just say the barrel scene fucked me up. I didn't sleep for a week. And I will never ever watch it again because I felt disgusting afterwards. I felt nasty, and that's the point of it. That's the point. It's supposed to make you feel gross. It's supposed to make you like understand that these are real world problems that happen to real people, and this is something that happened and still happens to this day. And I'm going to tell you right now, they do a fucking phenomenal job at doing that because I will never watch it again.
Yeah, I obviously have a seemingly endless backlog, but yeah, I hadn't watched Megan is Missing, but I do know of its existence.
Yeah, no, there's one scene in particular. I mean, it's a collection of scenes towards the end, of course, but the build up to it, you wouldn't think that it's going to end in the way that it does. I mean, you kind of it's implied throughout the whole thing, but the way that they do it, nope, not touching it ever again. It is a very well done movie. It was a B movie. I know it was a small budget and everything, But fuck, did they do everything they could with what they had, and holy shit, it's gonna make your fucking skin crawl, especially if you have kids. Your skin will be itching afterwards. It is fucking horrifying. Never touching it again.
Gonna love watching it then.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek, you have a child.
Yeah. Okay. But anyways, yeah. Hereditary, number 2.
Yeah. Hereditary is phenomenal. It's a very good movie. Very good movie. I will say, in the grand scheme of things, Hereditary, in my personal opinion, is not nearly the same level of ick as Megan is Missing gave me. And of course, it's not bad like Begotten is, but
yeah.
But yeah, I am glad that I watched it again. Gave it another shot. Gave my stomach another hurl, but
oh yeah.
Ugh. Fuck, man. Just creepy, but okay. Number 2. Oh yeah, recently watched this one as well, and God, I fucking love it so much. It is just immaculate. Another B movie, but just hear me out. It is so good. It was released March 14th, 2015. If you like heavy metal, and you like horror, and you like practical effects, Deathgasm.
Yeah, when you said heavy metal, I was like, it's Deathgasm. It's
Dude,
Deathgasm. Fun movie. Very
so fun, man. It's so fun. It's so good. It's just like... there's some scenes that are just super intense. There are some scenes that are just fucking goofy as all hell. And what a ride, dude. It's a ride from beginning to end, and I love every second of it. But heavy metal, horror, and like cheesy practical effects, yeah, count me the fuck in, dude. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's the scenery, the backdrop and stuff. Pay close attention. There are call outs to so many bands. I know Trivium's in there multiple times. But, I mean, the list goes on, of course. I mean, there's tons of metal references and metal jokes, nerd jokes. I know there's D&D fucking references and shit in it. But what a fun movie. And I know there was supposed to be a second one, but I don't know if they're done with it yet. I don't know if they'll ever be done with it. I'm not sure if this was a passion project or what, but definitely was budget. Definitely a really good time. Go check out Deathgasm if you like metal and you like horror movies. It's good stuff.
Yeah, Deathgasm is a lot of fun. I've only watched that movie a couple times, but yeah, I do. I look back on it very fondly.
Oh yeah, super fun. And I'm pretty sure they're Australian or something, so obviously they all got fucking sick ass accents and shit. So one more incentive, go watch it for the Australians.
Okay, so I'm just gonna point blank ask you, how many honorable mentions do you have?
Well, let me count the stars that I put on here, because there's too many movies that I have on this list. I'm not going to call them all out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But one of them was Hereditary, so 7.
Okay.
I do have a longer list. See? I'm not going to show you what they are, but like, there's more than 8 on here, but I definitely picked out a couple. Actually, Megan is Missing was one as well, so 7.
Check.
Oh, and Get Out was 1 as well. 6.
Okay, I'll let you go first, and then I'll tell you the obscene amount I have.
Okay, so one of them was The Void. I'm super into Eldritch Horror. Eldritch Horror is just a very criminally underdone genre for movies because it is so hard to do. Because once you add a physical element to the Eldritch Horror, it begins to lose its meaning. Like, the whole point of Eldritch Horror is like the fear of the unknown and not being able to comprehend what you're seeing and so forth. So when you make an Eldritch Horror movie that you're actually doing well, The Thing, for example, perfect Eldritch Horror movie, absolutely. Of course, it's not like tentacles and Cthulhu and shit like that, but it is definitely Eldritch Horror by the sole fact that you really don't know the whole time. The whole time you're in the dark and you're in the cold and you're fucking just trying to put things together, but you never do the whole time. So The Thing is a perfect example of a perfectly executed eldritch horror genre movie. The Void
Yes.
does a very good job as well, and The Void plays into the more cult section of eldritch horror, and I believe it takes place entirely in a hospital. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I need to go back and rewatch it. But I do remember watching it very fondly. I know I watched that one with you.
Yeah, me, you, and Toby watched it after our Des Moines trip.
Yeah, and it was super fun. I liked it quite a bit. But another one that I have shown... So this next one was Creep, basically, before I found Creep. It's one that I just showed to everybody, and I ended up overwatching it. And I don't know what critics thought of it. I never looked too heavy into it. I just remember thinking it was a pretty interesting movie. And for whatever reason, every time we had friends over, it would just be a movie we'd throw on in the background. So I ended up watching it way too much. And I'm glad I eventually found Creep, because I like Creep more. But A Cure for Wellness. I don't know if you've seen A Cure for Wellness before, but...
I know of it. I haven't seen it, though. But
It's
yeah.
fucking weird, man. It's weird as shit. And the main character...
Daniel Dehan, I believe is his name.
Yes.
Harry from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I be completely real with you. I can't stand him. I don't like him as an actor at all, like whatsoever. But for some reason, I really liked him in A Cure for Wellness. I don't know if it's just his face. I don't know if he's just a terrible actor in my eyes, but...
I just want to deliver one of these right in your suckhole. I want to punch your face.
I don't like him. I don't know what it is, but definitely check out A Cure for Wellness, though. It is a fun movie. Definitely weird. If you got a weird thing about fucking eels and shit, don't watch it. It's fucking filled with them. I actually just remembered I have another one. Hang on. But let me go over a couple of these other ones. I put Krampus in there because Krampus, we already did an episode on. You should go watch it. It's super fun. Krampus is just a good movie. I already talked about Megan is Missing. I already talked about Hereditary. Oh, one I seen recently, Bone Tomahawk.
Yes! God, I forgot about that.
Bone Tomahawk was surprisingly really good. Like, I thought...
Brutal.
It's brutal as shit, and I didn't expect it at all, man. Like, I put it on just because I was kind of wanting to watch a Western, you know? I get in those weird moods where I'm like, man, I really want to watch a Western right now. But I wanted to watch something new and something that was kind of weird. So I looked up interesting Western movies or something like that, and that was one of the ones that popped up, and it has Kurt Russell in it or something, right? Yeah, Kurt Russell's the main...
and Matthew Fox.
Yeah, and Matthew Fox. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me check this shit out. And, dude, absolutely, go fucking watch it. It is so good. I am, like, blanking on the name of this movie, and I don't even know if I would classify it as horror, because it's kind of not, but it also, if you know, you know. Sorry to Bother You.
What?
Sorry to Bother You with, it's got Lakeith Stanfield in it. He played the guy that got kidnapped at Get Out. He's the guy in the suit in the party or whatever, and he's the one that, like, at the Flash or whatever, and he's like, get out, get out!
Yeah.
The guy in the very first scene, he's the main character.
Okay. I have legit never even heard of that one.
I almost called you Toby. Derek.
Wait, is that the telemarketer one?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I have heard of it.
Have you seen it?
No, it's a horror movie?
No, but it kind of takes a... Just go watch it. I can't tell you anything, because if I do, you're not going to get that. What the fuck?
Okay.
You're not going to get any of that if I tell you anything at all. But go watch it. I'm telling you right now, it is the most left turn a movie has ever taken in the existence of movies.
Okay, all right.
I promise you, you're not gonna catch it. Like, the second you see what I'm talking about, you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I looking at? Anyway, again, if you know, you know. I don't know if I would classify it as horror, but it does take a very, like, kind of fucked up, just go watch it. It's so fucking good. At the end of the day, it is very funny, so maybe a comedy sci-fi horror kind of thing with a very little horror in there, but yeah.
Okay.
Go watch it, please. It's so good. And then let me know what you think, because... anyway, and then my last one is another one. Again, I don't know what critics are saying about it or anything, but Red State. Have you ever seen Red State?
Kevin Smith, yes, I have.
Yeah, that shit fucked me up the first time I watched it. At the very beginning, when, like, they got the dude's head wrapped in fucking saran wrap, and they just, like, fucking shoot him in the dome, and the blood's, like, filling the fucking saran wrap. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
hell no, dude.
That was kind of like the Westboro Baptist Church if they were on, like, fucking steroids, basically.
Yeah, and they had, like, arsenals of weapons and military fucking shit, but yeah, and you know, like, I mean, that's basically my list, but obviously I've got a ton more that I've seen, but I had Split on there. I know we briefly mentioned The Lighthouse. I had The Lighthouse on there. Midsommar, because we were talking about Hereditary and all that, and Midsommar always gets clumped in there, even though personally I think Hereditary did it better.
Oh, it did. Midsummer's still good, though.
Yeah, Midsommar was good. I would still rewatch. I'd still rewatch Hereditary before Midsommar, though.
Yeah.
The Ritual, Under the Skin, Conjuring, The Purge, Prey, Insidious, Sinister, The Invitation, and Terrifier were my. That was my whole list, but.
Okay.
There was just a couple of stars I wanted to specifically point out a lot of.
Yeah, you fired off a lot at the end. Okay, so I think I'm up to 30. On
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I said, this was a great decade for horror. So some of the ones that you mentioned: The Void, The Witch, Scary Stories Tell in the Dark, Us, Krampus, Bone Tomahawk, which I 100% forgot about until you mentioned, Midsummer, and Under the Skin.
Under the Skin fucked me up, dude. I was like, what the fuck am I watching, dude?
Dude, like, you want to talk about the best Terminator performance ever, but not in a Terminator movie. That's Scarlett Johansson in that movie.
Yeah. We literally watched that like a month ago for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually got to see that one in theaters when I lived in Champaign.
I never even heard of it, but we were looking through like horror movies to check out because we wanted to look up something new, and that popped up, and I'm like, what is this? I didn't know Scarlett Johansson was in this, and obviously we love Scarlett Johansson in this household. We are a pro Scarlett Johansson household for sure, and I was like, hell yeah, let's check it out. And dude, the first like bit of it, I was almost about to fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie, I did have a slow burn at the beginning, but
it's very slow. Very slow.
Once the thing happens, that thing that happens in the fucking dark place for the first time, the skin, if you know, you know, I was like, whoa, hold up. Pump the fucking brakes for a second. What did I just witness?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that is fucking chilling right there.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, yeah, check it out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Trust me. If you had a thing for Scarlett Johansson at some point in time, you will want to check it out.
And then you may even lose your thing for Scarlett Johansson after this one.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna quick fire some of these. Annabelle Creation.
Okay.
Easily better than first. Oculus. I forgot about that one.
Okay.
I will say Halloween 2018. Yeah. Scream 4. Starry Eyes. The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Okay.
The Blackcoat's Daughter. Autopsy of Jane Doe. Terrifier.
Obviously. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
whoa, what? That's not your number one?
Yeah, dude, no. I've been very open about the fact that, like, Terrifier 2 is my jam.
What am I missing?
We'll get to it.
I could have swore your fucking number one was going to be Terrifier.
Nope.
I know you like Terrifier 2 more, but that came out later, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it came out in 2022.
Yeah, so my brain was just like, by default, because Terrifier 2 is not an option, you're going to throw Terrifier 1 in there, but okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Then cool. Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Okay.
Train to Busan.
I knew you were going to say Train to Busan at some point, because I know we've talked about that one a couple times.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like
I still haven't seen it yet, but I know you've mentioned it to me a few times.
I will say my second favorite zombie movie. I was saying it was my first for a long time, but then Return of the Living Dead just really started clicking. And yeah, so second favorite zombie movie all time. Great movie. Yeah, I already said summer of '84. The Suspiria remake, because it is just killing in its own way. It's completely different from the original. Upgrade, Color Out of Space, Mandy, Ready or Not, Hush, and a kid-friendly one, Goosebumps with Jack Black.
Okay.
Mayhem, and then what got bumped off of my list to make room for Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Happy Death Day, because that is a fun slasher that is Groundhog Day, except it's a slasher movie.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it, but
yeah, So yeah, I had like 30 honorable mentions. It was
nice.
Just like this. Like I said, this decade was like the start of like a second golden age of horror, and God, it was just a good decade.
Hell yeah. Man, I'm like racking my brain now. I'm trying to. I don't know.
Okay.
You wanna go ahead? Go ahead.
Number 1. Released. Where's the release date? Okay, there we go. October 12th, 2012. A little film by Scott Derrickson. Sinister!
Really?
Dude. I have fucking Bagul's symbol tattooed on my arm!
I've only seen Sinister like once, maybe twice. I don't know. But I don't remember you ever talking about it with me, so I don't know.
Oh, dude, I fucking love Sinister. Oh my god.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that. Like, that would not have been on my radar for some reason, but...
Yeah, dude, no, like, Ethan Hawke is just awesome in this movie. Like, everybody is awesome in this movie. Yeah, the family moves into a house because the husband is a writer, and he is writing a new book about this disappearance and the murders, or whatever, or the disappearance of a little girl and then the murder of the rest of the family. Yeah. Then he stumbles upon a box, and it has films, home movies, and yeah, we eventually kind of plunge into chaos, and before we realize what's going on, it's too late. No, I remember when I watched this in theaters because I was with one of my buddies, and he was drunk and passed out, but like the whole time I was just like literally glued to the screen. I didn't want to move, didn't want to do anything. One of my favorite scenes is obviously the lawn mowing family video, because yeah, that shit comes out of nowhere.
Man, I need to go rewatch this now. I'm like, I just don't remember you talking about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
I fucking love Sinister, and
okay.
I will tell everybody, do not bother with the sequel. It is not that great. Not shocked either.
Right. Sequels are rough sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll get the rare one like Terrifier 2 that just kicks the door off the hinges and pisses on it and lights it on fire. Most of the time sequels, especially if they're not like already planned out, they're just wet farts at a family dinner, basically.
Yeah, the ones that itch when they try.
Yeah, and you're like, there's dried poop in my crack. Oh no. But Sinister is not the case, even though it may make you actually shit yourself. But yeah, check this movie out.
Nice.
The best horror movie of the decade, from 2010 2019. Sinister.
I don't know about that, because I think my number one's the best horror movie of the decade.
You know what? I think I figured it out.
Took you long enough.
Is it The Conjuring?
No. I put the Conjuring's in my honorable mentions. I said it.
Well, dude, you rapid fired the shits. I didn't hear everything. All I heard was you say Sinister, and I was like, oh, there it is. Okay. But this is not safe for children. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It, Chapter 1, is my number 1 horror movie of the 2010s. That's why when you said that earlier in the episode, I was like, hold it together, don't smile too much, and I was grinning from ear to ear the whole time. But I was trying to make you think it was just because I was like really enjoying what you were saying, which I did, but I was trying to just like go along with that so you wouldn't be like, oh, you son of a bitch. And I got you.
You were just spouting some shit, yeah.
Dude. It is so fucking good. It's so good. It's just it is easily one of those movies that I will pick a lot, like up there with like fucking Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Like I'll watch it every year without fail. Most of the time I'll watch it Chapter 2 as well with it, but not even necessary. Even though it was a good movie, it Chapter 1's phenomenal. Like Derek already said, the kids fucking fantastic. They just killed their roles so well. And not something I noticed the first time because I was so glued to what was actually happening in the actual foreground. If you go back through and watch it, but pay closer attention to the background a little bit, shit gets creepier. Like, there's certain things that happen, especially in the library scene and shit, at the beginning, when, what's his name is, like, just alone studying, or, like, looking into the whole history of Derry and shit. If you look closely in the background, man, just like, ugh, you'll get the shakes, because there's some shit that just, it's not supposed to be there, but it is. And I didn't notice the first time because I was just so glued to what was happening, like, throughout the whole movie that it was phenomenal. But, yeah, absolutely incredible movie. I wouldn't change anything about it. The chemistry between the kids, phenomenal. Everybody killed their roles. I do agree that when they picked the adult actors for the second one, they nailed it. 100% nailed their adult counterparts for sure. And the adults also still have great chemistry with each other. They still play the roles very well. But dude, them kids fucking knocked it out of the goddamn park, man. They just killed it. Killed it.
Yeah, that 100% is what would have either made like it did or broke the movie if there just wasn't that chemistry between the kids. So like perfect casting for it.
Oh yeah, easily all around. Both movies were great. The first one a little higher though, and man, some of those scenes like just terrified the shit out of me when I first seen them. Especially like I mentioned that the attic or the basement scene when he goes down and there's like water, like waist high water in the basement, and Georgie's in the corner and shit, and then fucking Pennywise just like pops out. Yeah. Dude, and his face just starts to like rot and shit. I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm gonna throw up. And then Pennywise's eyes like glowing yellow instead at that part or whatever, or green or something. They were just like a neon bright color, just like piercing through the darkness and shit. I was like, nope, you can count me the fuck out. I'm not gonna go in waist high water ever again. Not happening. Never in my life. No. At least not that I can't see the bottom of. Definitely not in a basement.
Oh yeah, hell no.
But yeah.
Hell no.
Such a great movie. Matter of fact, I think all these movies we talked about, at least the ones I've seen, of course, I think are great. I thought you had a pretty solid list as well.
Oh yeah, no, you did too. Because I mean, I had a good bit of yours, like honorable mentions as mine.
Dude, how the fuck did we get number 5? The Evil Dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
And yeah, even though they weren't the same number, Cabin in the Woods was
and Cabin in the Woods.
4 and a 3. A 4 and a 3.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I expected our lists to be fairly different, like, and yeah. I guess they were for the most part, but I didn't honestly expect to have anything in common because I know my taste in horror is pretty drastically different than yours. At least in the amount of stuff you've seen as opposed to what I've seen, you know? So
Yeah.
I figured that would be pretty hit or miss to have anything in common on there, but to have the same number on one of ours, that was pretty wild.
We need to buy lotto tickets today. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no shit. What the hell, man? Fucking awesome. Anyway.
But, yeah. That does it. Top 10 horror movies of the 2010s.
Let us know down in the comments below what your top 10 horror movies of 2010 through 2019 are.
There we go. You saved it that time.
Yeah, I didn't completely derail that time, but yeah, 2010 through 2019. Let us know down in the comments below what they are. Also, let us know who had a better list, Derek or me.
This guy.
We'll talk about it in the comments for sure, guys. And next week we're going to be rolling with the top 10 albums, believe it or not, of 2004.
God.
That's it. Okay, that time I was just fucking with you. 2004 top 10 albums.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It seemed like a lot of people are digging our 2003 video. So,
Which honestly,
yeah,
it shouldn't surprise me because that time I was fucked up. 2003 was a phenomenal year for music, so that doesn't surprise me, at least, I guess. But yeah, it is doing very well.
But yeah, I know I spoiled it earlier. Well, not completely, but we did have the same number one. And if you haven't seen that list, you should check it out. And we also have 2002, 2001, and 2000. We're going to do the whole decade, each year of the decade.
Yep, and then once we get through it, we'll do a top 10 albums of the decade.
Which, God have mercy on us for that.
It's going to be rough.
It's going to be really rough.
Because we're already having trouble with the individual years on this one. Now that we're getting into the middle of the early 2000s, it's getting hard, man.
Yes, it 100% is. So yeah, we'll I guess we'll see you next time, and hope you're ready to talk some music.
Oh man, rip to me not next week. Yeah, next week. Oof.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
I just scrolled down and looked at my list.
Yeah, I need to double check mine, and I need to go through and make sure I got all my honorable mentions, because my buddy Stefan pointed out a couple that I forgot, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, I completely forgot Static X.
Yep.
I thought it was 2004, but yeah, that's all I've got.
Same. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.